Hi guys, welcome to the realm of astrology. This is your daily horoscope for Tuesday, 6th July 2021. But before we begin, I would like to let you know that I do daily video horoscopes that I post on my YouTube channel every single day. I do weekly video horoscopes that I post every single week. I also do monthly overviews and monthly sun rising sign horoscopes, and you can watch them all. The monthly sun rising sign horoscopes for the month of July are on my channel. You can watch those. And I also request you to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so that you can be notified every time I post a video. Now, that being said, let's talk about today. So today we have two very important events happening. The Mercury Neptune retrograde square is going to come exact today. We also have the Venus Saturn opposition today. So we have a lot to discuss. But before that, I want to let you know that the moon entered the sign of Gemini last evening, and this is a shift in energy. Over the weekend with the moon in Taurus, it was a slower vibe, it was a more stable vibe. We wanted to chill, we wanted to have good food, we wanted to indulge in things. But now in Gemini, this is a lot of energy, a lot of stimulation, a lot of little bit of this to do, a little bit of that to do. And it's important to find rest, take care of ourselves, because the North Node is in Gemini as well, which means a lot of stimulation. So it's good to take time out to calm the mind down in these over the next 2 days. Now, that being said, let's talk about the first important thing, because the chart is open to that. And this is about midnight, right? So it's technically 6th July, but I spoke about this in my yesterday's video as well. And it is that Neptune retrograde at 2310 is going to square Mercury direct at 2310, 90-degree angle, which represents change, friction, all those sort of things. Now, this energy can manifest in two ways, and one of those manifestations is a confusion to our thinking, a lack of clarity in our thinking, a lack of clarity in our communication as well. Or it could be some sort of confusion connected to our immediate environment, connected to our peer group, connected to anything associated with the mind, whether it's writing, whether it's editing, whether it's any of those things. Why? Because Mercury is all these things. Mercury is our mind, it's our communication, it's thinking, right? It's our immediate surroundings. And Neptune is the planet of delusions. It is the planet of confusion. It fogs things. So this is a point where we might feel very confused. And keeping in view the background that we are coming into this energy with, we are required to take action, right? With the Mars-Saturn opposition, it's square to Uranus, we are required to take some sort of action, make some sort of change, or define certain things in our life. But with this energy, that can be confusing. So I would recommend letting this energy pass, which will happen by midnight. So by the time you wake up on July 6th, or if you sleep late, then by 6, 7 a.m., the energy should start easing off. So whatever decision you needed to take in the previous week, whatever changes you needed to make, whatever was making you feel frustrated and making you feel like, I need to change this. Why isn't this working? Why am I feeling so restricted? That decision to act, that decision to change things, you can take after this energy goes away, which will start easing off Tuesday day and into Wednesday for certain. So that's the first thing. And the other manifestation of this energy can be the positive manifestation of Neptune, right? It can really align our mind with our spiritual path. It can align our intellectual thoughts, our mental thoughts, our logical thoughts with the spiritual path. Because Neptune is spirituality and Mercury is our mind. So we might adjust something with this energy that aligns our mind, aligns our thinking, aligns our communication, aligns our immediate environment with our spiritual path, with our calling, with our connection to the divine in some way, shape, or form. But best to let this energy pass. And this is also an energy that can really push you into creative sort of things. Like you can do creative writing at this point, because Mercury is writing and Neptune is the higher octave of Venus, which does rule music, poetry, all those sorts of things. So that's the energy. And then moving on, this is about midnight, right? And then moving on, the next important thing happens at about 4 p.m. Pacific time. I did say that I'm going to mention the India time, but the India time is 12 hours ahead. So whatever time I say for Pacific time, just add 12 hours to that. So if I say 4 p.m. Pacific time, it's 4 a.m. India time, 12 hours ahead. That's the math. So I'm just going to speak about Pacific time because it gets a little confusing for me, to be honest with you, while I'm doing the reading. So that's that. And speaking of the next important thing, this happens at about 4 p.m. Pacific time, right? Which is 4 a.m. India time. Wherever I can, I will try to mention the Indian Standard Time. But if I forget or if I miss out, just know the difference is 12 hours ahead. All right. Going back to the next important thing, the moon and the north node are going to conjunct. They're going to meet up. Now, the north node is an energizer, right? It energizes any planet it comes in contact with it. And in this case, the moon, which is what? Our emotions. And in Gemini, this is all, our emotions are already overstimulated. Like there's a lot going on. And with the north node there, this can feel like a lot of emotions. This can feel like a lot of overstimulation. A lot of I need to do this, I need to do that, all that sort of stuff. So this happens at 4 p.m. Pacific time and 4 a.m. India time. So, and now we are building up to the most important event for today, and that is the Venus Saturn opposition. So let's see that. Okay, there. 7:50 p.m. Pacific time, which makes it 8 a.m. India time, July 7th. So Venus here at 12:01 of Leo is opposing Saturn at 12:01 of Aquarius, right? 180-degree angle. Now, let's break down this energy. At the same time, let me also mention that this energy is in a square to Uranus, is in a trine, Venus trine Chiron, 120-degree angle, sextile Saturn. It is also in a sextile to the moon. And Saturn here is trining the moon. That's a lot, right? That's a lot. So let's break this energy down one by one. And to some extent, you can even say Venus here is trining the south node. There is a grand trine in fire while all this is happening. So this is a lot of energy, right? And let's break it down. Saturn retrograde opposing Venus. Okay. Saturn is decisions, it's hard work, it's discipline, it's delays, it's disappointments. And Venus is love, it's relationships, it's our marriage, it's our business partnerships, it's our projects, it's our finances. And when they oppose, an opposition demands us to integrate two elements, right? So in this case, we need to integrate Saturn retrograde and Venus. So there could be a decision regarding our love, relationships, marriage, projects, self-worth, values, skills, finances, or we may define these things more clearly. We may find some clarity in these things. Alternatively, we may start to feel a little frustrated about these things, but I don't think we are feeling very frustrated about these things. I'll tell you why. But there is a chance that we might feel restricted in all Venus-related things because Saturn is also restrictions. But like I said, this energy is more about decisions and defining things than it is about feeling restrictive. And this decision or definition can come out of nowhere because Uranus right here is squaring both the planets. It's squaring Venus and it's squaring Saturn. And Uranus is sudden. It's unexpected. So whatever this definition to Venus-related things is, whatever this decision is, it can be unexpected and it will push you towards being your unique self because Uranus wants you to be your unique self. That's what Uranus wants. Okay? And with a trine to Chiron, whatever decision this is, which will be unexpected, has a healing element. And with a trine to the south node, it will take us more and more away from our past in an easy way. Sometimes we let go of the past in a difficult way. We don't want to, right? But we have to. But in this case, it's not that. It's automatically, easily, we're letting go of the past because we're finding healing in the future that we're building. Which brings me to my next point. This Venus energy is in a sextile to the North Node while Saturn is trining it. So whatever decision this is, which is unexpected, which has a healing element, which will make the past more and more distant in a good way, will push us towards our goals, which are for the long run with a trine to Saturn. And with the moon there, this is a feel-good moment. And that is why I said this might not feel restrictive or frustrating or like things are being delayed, because the moon is in a trine to Saturn. At this point, as we decide to change Venus-related things, while that decision may feel a little stressful, we will also feel positive in our emotions. Saturn will define our emotions in a positive way because Saturn is trining this energy. And whatever this decision is, it's for the long run. It's for the long run, the path that we have been building, the life that we have been building and will build for the next 2 years. And at this point, Neptune here is at 2309, right? And Mercury has moved on to 24. So this is when the clarity kicks in by Tuesday evening. Okay, and then it's good to decide. It's good to decide. It's good to take that action. So that's the highlight of today. And a couple other things. Uranus here has hit 14 degrees. Now Uranus is the only outer planet that's direct right now. We have Pluto in retrograde, Saturn in retrograde. Oh, before I move on, I should have mentioned this. Saturn is in retrograde while it squares Venus and does all these things. So whatever this decision is, it's nothing new, right? It's something that has come up in the past. Why? Because Saturn is retrograde. In retrograde, it brings up the past. It could be a decision that we couldn't take back then. It could be something that we were unsure of. But now with this, we'll decide that. So it has some connection to the past. Yeah, and now let's talk about Uranus. Uranus is the only planet that's direct right now, only outer planet. Neptune is retrograde, Jupiter is retrograde, Saturn is retrograde, Pluto is retrograde, and you can see that, right? Pluto is in the 2549 is in red, 1201 is in red, 145 is in red, 2309 is in red, but this is in black. So Uranus is direct. And when a slow-moving planet like Uranus moves 1 degree, it means a forward movement in our life. So whatever this decision will be, whatever this definition to things will be, which in my opinion is positive and will feel not very restrictive because Saturn is trining the moon, will also push us forward towards our unique self. Yes, but it is a unique self, it is our authentic self, it is our own self that we haven't really seen before. You understand? Because Uranus is our unique self and it's moved 1 degree, it's moved on. It's another step forward in our development to being our unique self, our authentic self. So today is a very big day, very, very big day in the astrology. So that's the astrology for today, and we are going to have a new moon in Cancer on July 9th, I believe, which is a Friday. And 2 to 3 days before the new moon, we go through a balsamic phase. And balsamic phase is where we start to release a lot of things. It's a lot of emotional release. And for the past 1 week since the last quarter square of the moon, which I believe happened on July 1st, we have been in the energy of release. We have been in the energy of letting go of things. But during the balsamic phase, 2 to 3 days before the new moon, this energy of release and letting go is very intense. And it is a subconscious release, right? So physically, our energy can feel a little low at this point. So I just thought I'd mention that, and I will give you a brief background because all this is happening, yes, but sometimes we may have a really positive day, but we feel stressed. And that's because it's these underlying currents that we deal with every single day, and we don't talk about every single day because they're happening constantly, right? And one of those currents is the Uranus-Saturn square. Now this energy will be here all year. We've seen it come exact twice, once in Feb, once in June. Now it's going to come exact once in December. But they're going to be in a square all year, even into next year. And this energy is demanding us to change. Get rid of all things, all thought patterns, all anything that does not serve you, and embrace the new. And it's also about embracing and finding your unique self, your authentic self, and becoming that. And since they are squaring 90-degree angle, this process will feel quite challenging. So that's what we deal with on an everyday basis. The struggle to get rid of the old things, embrace the new, find out who we are becoming, all those sort of things. The second thing that we are building right now is the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction that happened in December of 2020. Now these planets meet once in 20 years. And when they meet, they begin a new cycle. So about 6 months ago, we started a new cycle. And we lay the foundation for this cycle, which will be with us for 20 years in the next 2 years. So every day, we build on that. And come to think of it, it's very closely connected with the square to Uranus, right? As we get rid of the old, and as we build the new, as we embrace our unique self, this Saturn-Jupiter conjunction cycle will also become more and more tangible in our life. And the third thing is the Saturn-Pluto. Saturn and Pluto met up in Jan of 2020 and in a very powerful way changed our material reality. And these planets meet up once in 33 to 38 years. So it's a big, big deal when they meet up. And so in Jan of 2020, they closed out a 38-year cycle, a cycle that started in 1982. And even as of now, we've understood primarily what the changes were. With the full moon in Capricorn on June 24th, it did reveal a more deeper understanding of what conspired in Jan of 2020, right? But I don't believe that process of building is complete, building the base for this new cycle that will stay with us till 2053, so a long, long time. And the last thing are the nodes. The north node is in Gemini and the south node is in Sag, right? Now the nodes are karmic and they have an 18.5-year cycle. So they were in the same placement between 2001 and 2003. So the nodes can bring up karmic things that need to be closed out, completed, or built upon when they come back into the same position. So things might be coming back to your life from 2001 and 2003 for you to review, for you to reprocess, or close out, or take with you to the future. And that's all the background I will give, and I will pick a card for today. And then we'll close out the reading. Okay, let me. Okay. There we go. It says to the sea. And this card is about feeling a little confused, feeling a little lost, not knowing which direction to go, which way to take. Because you see how she's not knowing which way to go. So today is the day where we might feel a little confused about things. We might not know what direction to take. We might feel like we are lost in the ocean. But I think this definitely ties into the Mercury Neptune retrograde square energy. But I think we'll find our way. I think by the end of the day, we'll find our way. But yes, there is some direction we need to decide on. I'm going to pick one more card, okay? Exchanging gifts. I think this card says to me that it's a difficult card to understand in context of today's energy. But I feel like when you exchange gifts, you give and you take something. I think to decide, make that decision, find that direction, we kind of have to evaluate what the effort is versus what the reward is. Plus, this is also a card that says that we might be receiving some sort of gifts, some sort of rewards for the work we've put in. Like I mentioned today, so many planets are retrogrades, and what do retrogrades bring? They bring rewards for the work we've put in. So perhaps those rewards are coming to us now. Perhaps this decision will help us move towards that direction so that we can receive those rewards that we've already put in the work for. I think that's what this energy means to me. But to me, this card to the sea is more appropriate for today. And it definitely says we need to decide, we need to find that direction. And by the evening, the energy, the confusion will lift off. But there might be some confusion today. But by the evening, it'll start to lift off. And I would recommend let today pass, let tomorrow happen, and whatever decision you want to take or have decided to take, sit on it till tomorrow and then finalize it. That's all I leave you with. Do hit the subscribe button, do hit the bell icon, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.